Pulling up in the lot, Vance threw down the kickstand, killing the engine as well as the music as he helped Rain off the bike. Let's just have a good time, okay?
Relax, Rain, you're so tense. It's just a bunch of high schoolers,
he chuckled, finding her unease amusing.
We're gonna have a great time. Chill out.
If you say so. She slipped her arm through the crook of his elbow and walked into the gym, which was done in the same fashion as Greenville. Black and orange party streamers littered the walls alongside spider and pumpkin-shaped confetti and all types of cookies and treats. Funny enough, there was no punch bowl. Instead, an assortment of canned drinks such as soda and water bottles were present.
Trust me, Rain, Vance began. It can't be any worse than last time.
Already long since arrived, Sam had slipped into the gym to help out. He'd told everyone he was part of the night's entertainment, and they'd bought it hook, line, and sinker. Sneaking away from the mainstream, he tossed his backpack under the stage and went to wait in the hall for Leah and the others. The girl had arrived with a gaggle of her new teammates. She'd gone all out to be a fitting zombie date. Her face had been painted thanks to hours of watching makeup tutorials. Her freckles and attractive smile now something out of a horror movie. Resembling someone in the late stages of decomposition, her lips were pale, green eyes masked with eyeliner and mascara, red hair streaked with fake blood and teased to look as though she'd been through hell. Wearing a leather jacket over a green tank top that exposed her belly button ring, she adorned stitched tights and a miniskirt. The attention she acquired pleased her greatly. When Sam spotted her, his jaw dropped. "Damn," he said as he walked over. "You're making me look bad." Offering a grin, Leah exposed fake teeth that mirrored his own. "You're not gonna outdo me," she laughed while her friends looked startled. They were all dressed in standard costumes, namely revealing and cheap. "I don't know. I got something pretty wild planned." "Don't do anything stupid, okay? Let's just have a good time. And don't start with Peter." "Stupid? Nah, who, me? Never," he chuckled as he ghosted toward a table and held out a chair. "Funny and awesome, perhaps, but never stupid." "If you ruin her Halloween, I will hurt you. And you better dance." Leah's eyes suddenly fell on Rain from across the room. "Oh my God." Sam caught a remark and turned. "Whoa, wait a minute, is that? Damn, I'm gonna have to step up my game," he drawled while Leah immediately rushed to her friend. "You look gorgeous," she exclaimed, not one for jealousy. "I look like a princess," Rain whispered. "'Cause you are. Sammy, could you get us a drink?" He only did so that he could pull Leah aside. "Here, knock yourself out," he muttered, catching her gently by the arm and guiding her away from the table. "Can I get a word?" "What is it?" she asked as she walked with him. "I'm on a timer tonight. I need you to get the two of them on the dance floor for me in 10 minutes. You think you can do that?" "Sam, if you plan on ruining this for them, I swear. What are you gonna do?" "I'm not gonna ruin it, Leah. Just get Rain and Scarface onto the dance floor in 10. I'll be back in a few. I gotta run some interference. 10 minutes, he called before he circled the stage. Leah glanced at her watch and walked back with a plate of cookies. "Was he telling you how cute you look?" Rain teased. "No, he was telling me he liked my belly button ring." She laughed as they made small talk, although at the 9-minute mark she cleared her throat. "Come on, guys, let's dance."
"This music is crap,"
Vance grumbled. There were only one or two other couples wobbling around without much tact.
"We need to bring this place to life. It's deader than the zombie tribe over there."
He jerked a thumb toward Leah's companions. "It's a Catholic school. What did you expect?" Though she was more concerned about the time, which had hit 10 minutes exactly. Suddenly, the lights cut out and the entire room went startlingly black. Vance wasn't sure what had happened, and neither, it seemed, were the rest of the student body, who immediately erupted into a barrage of whispers and speculation as a pair of spotlights snapped to life on stage. "Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention?" A familiar voice echoed over the loudspeaker. "It's the night before Halloween, so I think it's about time we stop horsing around and cause some general chaos. I got a couple of friends out there who seem to want to blend in with the crowd, but I'm here tonight to remind them all of what we truly are. So let's give it up and get this party started." Echoing across the darkness, a haunting melody began as Sam stepped from the shadows with a wide grin and a microphone. Strumming away on the frets of a red and black guitar, he took the mic and laughed straight into Matchbox Romance's We Are the Monsters. As the golden light spun toward the audience, a horrific shadow crept up the wall. Spreading skeletal grimdark jaws, it went to reach for them only to vanish while the lights panned back and Sam's glasses ran down his face. Vance rested his normal hand across Rain's.
"Not bad, for an amateur."
The song came to a close and the crowd cheered. "Thank you, Jersey!" Sam screamed. "Y'all are great out there. Awesome costumes. Pretty gothic-looking school, too. I know you're probably hungry for more, but I'm just the opening act. I think it's time to give it up for the main event. Now there's a beautiful young lady out there in the crowd tonight, and it's her first Halloween. So what do you say we make this the best damn party she's ever seen?" The crowd agreed and the lights began to dim. "I ain't got much of a voice for this one, but in light of that, a friend of mine has agreed to help me out. So all you critters out there, why don't you clear out the dance floor for a very special leading lady? Sorry, Vance, you may have style, but you ain't got nothing on her, and my friend here is about to tell you why." Tossing the microphone to the side, Sam stood down as a strange young woman with long flowing hair and a pair of dark sunglasses stepped forth to catch it in a pale, slender hand. Curling black painted nails around its base, she peered across the room as the lights faded from gold to purple and the dance floor cleared to the unmistakable melody of Lady Gaga's Dance in the Dark. Leah stepped into the crowd to avoid ruining the spotlight as Rain's face flushed red.
Don't give him the satisfaction.
Vance took her hand.
Come on, let's show these pansies how it's done.
Don't embarrass me, she warned.
The only one who's going to be embarrassed tonight is him.
Vance pulled her center floor and the two of them proceeded to steal the night. Rain proved to be a natural. She had put on pageantry before and danced with plenty, meeting their gaze out of defiance and spite. Though with Vance, it was different.
Come on, smile,
he chuckled, picking up the pace as he twirled her around.
You hear that?
The song began to die and the crowd started to cheer.
That's for you.
There was no malice to be found on his face as he gave a bow, nudging her to do the same. Straightening his posture, he noticed that once the music stopped, the lights shifted from violet to pink, bright pink, and the strange woman on stage reached for her sunglasses.
Why does she seem so familiar?
Before he could finish, the girl removed them and tossed them to Sam, who was still grinning as the magic wore down and the woman's visage melted away to reveal the Ace Queen.
Rose?
Vance's jaw hit the floor while she shuffled the microphone to her left hand and reached up with her right to blow him a kiss. Sam started with the guitar again, and Rose slipped into a quite animated version of Raise Your Glass by Pink. The floor began to fill at a rapid pace, and students broke out in a free-for-all as soda cups flew in unison to the lyrics. Nearly losing his glasses, Leah clapped Sam across the shoulder, and he reached up to catch them before they fell off his face. His grin was filled with dagger-like teeth, although he didn't seem to notice. Told you it was gonna be good, he mused, guitar vanishing as he offered her a hand. Care to dance? You dance? Course I'd dance. What, you didn't think it was all just magic back in Greenville, did you? Yo, Peter, what's wrong? He called as he noticed the shock on Vance's face.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Reaching out, he grabbed Rain and proceeded to join in the rest of the ruckus. So is she gonna kill me in my sleep?
Nah, but I might kill her. Now I know where my cards went,
he grumbled while Rose continued to ham it up on stage. Leave her, she deserves to have fun. So is this what you call magic? Leah asked as the music shifted. This is what I call entertainment, Sam grinned. However, his amusement quickly faded along with the crowds when a strange noise caught the air. Crackling like the ripple of an electric surge, both Vance and Sam looked up as a bright white light suddenly raced down from the sky. Rushing past the gym, it was visible through the panoramic windows and lit the entire room. Sam threw out an arm to block the glow, while whatever it was railed toward the coast. Rattling its foundations, the entire school began to quake, and following it dropped a massive black disc, pulsing with a vibrant orange energy that radiated from two glowing modules. Despite how swiftly it moved, its shape was unmistakable, and it spun after the burst of light, cutting the power to every electrical grid in the radius of 50 miles. Oh shit! Sam stammered as the gym was cast into darkness and the saucer rocketed into the distance. What the hell is that? Rain asked while Leah covered her eyes. Is this a joke, Sam?
That's no joke.
Vance shook his head.
I'd know that light anywhere.
Sorin? Rain looked at him with sudden dread. What do we do?
We follow it.
Vance ran toward the door. Climbing onto his motorcycle, he cut the kickstand upward.
Are you coming?
He asked as she followed.
This could get messy.
Of course I'm coming, Rain said flatly. Why is he here?
It's not him that worries me.
It's not? What is? Throwing the bike into gear, he sped toward the coast.
Look around. What do you know that can knock out the power to an entire city just by flying over it? That light is a powerful maneuver. He would not do that just for the hell of it. Soren was running from something.
Rain buried her face in his back. If you're trying to tell me this isn't a Halloween prank, I'm gonna need a cigarette.
I don't know what it is, but it's got him running scared. Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah. She reached down, pulling up her dress to reveal a serrated blade and a phone strapped to her calf. Why?
Call Janny. You're gonna need somebody to pick you up.
Vance pulled to a screeching halt near the edge of the Jersey shoreline. Pick me up? Where are you going? I'm not leaving unless you come with me. Kicking off her heels, Rain ran through the sand barefoot.
You might not have a choice there.
Racing across the dunes himself, Vance stopped a few feet from the water's edge. The strange black disc hovered vibrantly over the waves. Large pulses of energy circulated the two enormous modules on either side of its roof. A thin white light beamed down from above, panning back and forth as it searched for something.
Stand back!
Vance's claws suddenly slid open to manifest a ball of black energy.
Hey, you!
He called as he launched it toward the ship. The dark matter licked against it, and the attack fizzled out while the gigantic disc slowly spun to face them. The searchlight that had previously been scouring the water snapped forward and caught them where they stood. That was a wonderful idea. Rain crossed her arms while not far behind the ocean began to draw back and the waves grew rigid. A jet stream of seawater suddenly propelled itself up in a long funneling torrent that met the side of the craft. The impact caused it to fly backward, toppling over itself like a football. Unfortunately, the shield that manifested to protect it also had severe implications. Electrifying the turret, it sent something sprawling to the ground. An explosion of sand kicked up as a familiar white weapon impaled itself in the dune and vanished just as swiftly. Holding her own shields, Rain looked at Vance. "Do you have a plan?"
"I'm working on it."
His eyes drifted towards Soren, who was hurt pretty bad. Barely conscious, there was blood that ran from his face as well as the tattered remains of one of 6 feathered wings flowing from his back. Unfortunately, before he could address him, the ship began to right itself. "Vance, come here!" Rain yelled as she went to tend to the boy.
"Leave him," he hissed. "Call Janny. Get her to come and pick you up. Go back to the apartment and stay there."
With that, he summoned a playing card. Throwing it to the ground, a void erupted and Rose once again appeared. Vance eyed the Darklight, who offered him her hand as the searchlight pinned them. Grabbing it, there was an explosion of darkness, and another ball of energy went whirling toward the craft. Far more powerful than the last, the blast caused the ship to waver before it cleared to reveal the same terrifying creature that had plagued Rain in Vegas. Meanwhile, back at the school, Leah and Sam were still caught up in the pandemonium.
"What the hell is going on?"
Leah demanded. Pulling her from the gym, he drew a deep breath. "Did you see that thing?"
"That light? What was it? And that sky disk?"
"I don't know about the light," he shook his head. "But that disc didn't come from the sky. It came from the future. Guy's a bounty hunter. Cashes in big for bringing in heads. It's not so bad if you can get past his technology, but that's a big if. How do you think I wound up here? I can't open portals to the past. That SOB has been tailing me for months. I saw an opportunity and I took it. I didn't know where I was going to wind up, but I didn't know he was going to follow me either." Leah tightened her grip on his hand. "Come on, you can come to my house. My mom will understand." Stepping into the pitch-black streets, Sam's hands were already beginning to exhibit a blackish tint. "I can't. I'm out of time." "What if that thing catches you?" "Just go. I'll be all right," he said as he turned. "Be careful, Hayne." Leah could see the candles her mother had lit in the window. Janny likewise lit candles across the apartment. She felt something bad had happened, and upon getting Rain's frantic phone call, was in the car within seconds. "It's okay, Vin. You just keep on giggling." She kissed his forehead as she raced toward the beach. "We can't let Soren see the kid," Rain told her when she arrived. "Take Vincent home. I will bring him somewhere safe." The tiny vampire grabbed the keys and immediately got in. Happy to see her, Vincent began to giggle while Janny attempted to find an alternative means to transport Soren, who was still unconscious in the sand. Hot-wiring a jeep, she opened the door and picked him up to coax him into the back. She ended up taking him to a large stone house near the school, which she used as a headquarters for her work. Soren was put in a hospital bed. The injuries he had sustained were minimal and had likely been caused by the fall. His wings had been charred, their stark white feathers burnt black. Of the 6, 1 was broken. Despite the damage, his pulse was strong, and it seemed as though he had only suffered a minor concussion. Regardless, it was about an hour before he began to come to. Janny had stuck leads all over his chest. She had changed out of her costume, and as he opened his eyes, she tilted her head. "I am not inclined to believe in angels, but I was surprised by the resemblance." "Huh?" Rubbing the side of his face, his hands were talon-like, though he didn't appear to notice. Upon catching her remark, however, he gave a slight grin. "You don't believe in angels, huh?" "No," she smiled with wisdom in her gaze. "How are you feeling?" "Like I've been hit by a truck? Judging from your expression, I probably look it, too." "I am not sure how to heal anyone with wings. If I were a vet, maybe." Soren actually laughed. "Don't worry about it. Thanks for getting me out of there." "What attacked you? Or, better yet, electrocuted you?" His expression became a bit sterner. "It's a long story. If you don't mind, where am I? I can give you a better explanation if I have a background as to where I am." "Clinton, New Jersey," she answered. "You are in a stone house that is sparsely decorated. I work here. I could not bring you to my residence." "New Jersey? Why is it always the East Coast?" he grumbled. "Oh well, that's fine. The less explaining I have to do, the better. I was chased here." He ran his claws through his hair. "That thing, I presume you must have seen it? I don't know what it is, but I do know what it does." "What year is this?" 2012? Soren's eyes widened. 3 years, jeez. 3 years since what? Okay, bear with me. I'm part of a group that looks out for the well-being of different places," he began. "I'm not from around here, but this place happens to be under my watch. About 3 years from now, that thing shows up. It can't follow me back to where I came from, but it can throw a wrench into the works. Whatever it is, it understands that space and time are one and the same. Without getting technical, every time I try to get home, that thing alters my path, and instead of changing locations, it throws me through time. Whoever or whatever is operating it has some kind of understanding well beyond the norm. As for what it is, your guess is as good as mine." "It is a ship?" Janny blinked. "It was hunting you. Perhaps because you were a part of that group." "Yeah, it was." I could make a couple of calls. Someone might know something. Here's the problem. It doesn't officially show up until 2014. It's been forcing me back in time so that nobody knows it exists. The other members of my group aren't here. A friend of mine was the first to encounter it, and she was also the one to figure out that it can't jump realms. Whatever it is, it came from this universe, so it has to stay here. The only other person I know who's been attacked by it is not someone you want to go looking for. Who is it? He's got some issues. He got caught by that thing. He's the only one who's ever seen what's inside. That was the last time I saw him, and it was a long time ago. Johnny got up. I believe I can find that person. I can bring him to you if you want answers. That ship took off when it was attacked in return. What do you mean it took off? Soren thought for a second before shaking his head. There were people on that beach, weren't there? Of course there were. You are very lucky someone was looking out for you. Actually, I'm lucky whoever they were, they didn't look to make a profit and sell me to a zoo. I do not think they would have had the heart to, Johnny smiled as her cell phone chimed. Actually, I do have a bit of a request. Do you think you might be able to check the weather report for the next couple of days? Of course, she toyed with her phone. This lovely little gadget makes it so much easier to do. It's going to be cloudy this entire week. Isn't that miserable? Soren did not look thrilled.